It's really early to be, or I just stayed up too late to be thinking about all these things. But this video that you made to Zach was pretty good. Um, there's only a few things I would question that you said, but I mean, that's in everybody's video. You know, you're talking at the moment, so there's things that you say that are maybe not 100% accurate. But what I will say is this: the struggle I have. I was watching something today about these killer ants, and they're all over the world. You know, these huge ants that, I mean, to me, it's almost the perfect system. The ants are almost the perfect living being as far as how it works in unison, and how they hunt together, and how they move, and everything's done precisely. And they hunt, and when they go out and hunt, they take right angles so they don't cover the same part of the forest that they covered the last time they went out to hunt. But this is the thing with the trouble I have. Evolution, the word evolution, if you look it up in the dictionary, it's an evolvement, you know. And so I'm not sure how perfect that definition is, because, you know, and you know, you evolve, and then eventually, like what happened to the dinosaurs. You know, the dinosaurs lived back in a time where oxygen was really rich in the atmosphere. They grew enormous, and then, depending on what theory you want to believe, I believe the one that a meteor came and started a cooling down period for the Earth. Well, they were too big. They didn't have enough food to consume to survive. So the small creatures lived, you know, or the ones that were in the sea. So what does all this mean? Well, why am I bringing up this evolution thing? And you're talking about going out and, you know, and you're right. People are not going to go back to just go foraging. And the word I think you were looking for was, people have romanticized, you know, just like they do with cowboys. People romanticize. I wish I was back in the old West when people were, you know, everybody was honest. The law was, you know, men were honest, gentlemen, and, you know, they traveled in horse and buggy and went west, and, you know, shot their own food or whatever. And the real truth about it wasn't that easy of a life. It was very difficult, and it wasn't a bunch of gentlemen. It wasn't what you see in Hollywood. So the same with what you're talking about. People romanticize this whole let's go back and forage, like you said, you know, and that crate of apples are going to be sitting there, and it's going to be enough for everybody. You know, so but the word evolution, I think people forget that, and I mentioned this to somebody else. The way humans evolved was their brains got bigger, and they evolved to be able to use their mouth for communication purposes. Communication is the biggest evolutionary tool to happen. So we evolved, we're able to speak, use words, different languages, fascinating really, and share ideas. So as unnatural as this may be, that people think we live in this unnatural world, as unnatural as it is, it's so natural. It's 100% natural, because we evolved. And I think any animal that's not running on pure instinct, if had the chance, would do exactly what human beings did. First, what you said about getting out of the damn forest because lions are out there, tigers and bears. You know, every once in a while in Alaska, you still hear about a mauling by a bear. Sure, we're not physically strong evolutionary wise in the food chain, but this is where I think you said we're in the middle. I think we're at the top of the food chain because people want to downplay our evolved skills, which is communication, sharing. So we came up with ways to dominate, and that's natural. You know, if a bear could pick up a gun and shoot a caribou instead of risking injury, believe me, the bear would pick up a gun and shoot a caribou. So I think, as bad as it may seem, I brought this up to a friend of mine that, you know, you're saying all this, you know, I hate global warming, and I hate everything that we've done to this planet that is causing problems. At the same time, what if that's just the evolutionary plan? We evolved just like the dinosaurs evolved and became huge. Things changed and they died out. Well, what if people evolved to a certain point, and now we've evolved so much that we've changed the environment to where, well, we have 6 or 7 billion people now will not be able to have a sustainable life on the planet, and they will end up dying out, except for probably just like the last ice age, where maybe a couple hundred people survived and repopulated the earth. So to me, it's as sad as it is, because I think we're drawing towards an end of an era for Homo sapiens. I think it is natural. I think it's natural because that's just the way that's what evolution does. It's a constant cycle. Things evolve, things die. You know, we had woolly mammoths, and they died out. We still have elephants, though, which are cousins. So, well, that's my take on it. I think to go back and pillage, or not pillage, but scavenge, is not really a productive thing to do, and you're not going to get people to do it. And like you said, whoever wants to do it, they'll let them be the first people to go risk their lives in sub-Saharan Africa trying to find food and scavenge with all the lions and tigers. And that's my take.